Yasu Malagedo. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Taste of the Danforth.
Breaking news on one of the highlights of summer in the city. For the third year in a row, there will be no taste of the Danforth. It was supposed to happen August 5th to 7th. The Greek town on the Danforth BIA says it just doesn't have enough time to adapt to the changes made to the iconic street. Those changes include Cafe TO, in which patios are expanded into the street, and permanent separated bike lanes. Festival organizers have said those changes take over much needed space, creating a logistical mess. They've asked the city to remove the curb lane patios and bike lanes for 3 days of the event, but the city says it doesn't make any sense to remove permanent infrastructure for just a weekend. The city has also released a statement saying it will continue to work with all BIAs on festivals and looks forward to working with the Greektown BIA on a reimagined Taste of the Danforth 2023.
Reimagine Taste of the Danforth. What in the fuck does that even mean? They didn't have time to plan it out. A couple years, not enough time, eh? Okay. So you had planned, enough time there for Taste of Italy, Gay Pride, Caravana. Yep, we all had planned for those, eh? But not Taste of the Danforth. Malakias. Guys, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, the last couple of years because of COVID, fucked everything up for everything, But, yeah, this sucks, And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't go to Taste of Danforth every year, okay? I mean, I live, very close to the Danforth, so I don't know, every day is Taste of the Danforth to me. I can always go there, go shopping, do my errands, have some appointments, whatever. I mean, it's home to me. It's my backyard. I already did a podcast about the Danforth, but once I heard this news, I felt like I got to put in my 2 cents here, So it sucks. It really does. It's very unfortunate that they're able to have all these other festivals, but not Taste of the Danforth. And again, I have nothing against these other festivals. I am half Italian, Gay Pride, of course, is awesome. Caravana, always awesome, But it looks bad. All right. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, it looks bad that the Greek Fest here, aka Taste of Danforth, is being singled out. And but there are some reasons. I don't know if they're good or not, but. We'll get into that in a little bit, but this is not a good move, guys. I'm not gonna lie. People have been waiting for this for a couple of years. Obviously because of COVID. Like I said before, it's always good for business. It tracks over like at least 1 million people every year. It's great for tourism, of course. Great for businesses on the Danforth. I mean, Lord knows they need it. I mean, I would tell you what the rent would be on Danforth, but you probably would believe me. But it's a lot, okay? And they depend on events like this and festivals and whatever, and to make that extra money. So I don't know. It's this was just announced a few days ago, but again, I wanted to put in my 2 cents, and with the help of Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. I would like to go forward and let's see if we can make sense of this. Okay, so here we go. Taste of the Danforth is a yearly festival held in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, in the Greektown area along Danforth Avenue for a period of 3 days in August, spawned from the Taste of Chicago in Chicago, Illinois, United States. It is currently Canada's largest street festival Okay, so I just want to stop there for a second because even I didn't know that. Like I didn't know it spawned from the Chicago one. I had no idea. And it's Canada's largest street festival. Not the biggest in Toronto, not the biggest in Ontario. Canada's largest street festival. And it's not happening. Anyways, it started in 1993. Okay, so let me stop right there again. I even asked my dad what year it is. He's still focused on the Leafs losing. That's okay. In many ways, it's not. But the point is, I Googled it after. It said 1994. So, I don't know. Wikipedia has been known to make a couple mistakes. We're human. It is what it is. So, I don't know. Pick a year. It doesn't matter. I don't mean like I don't care. I'm just saying, I mean, either way, I was a young pup when it happened. Okay, I talked about this in my Danforth podcast. I remember the first one I personally went to, but I'm going to get into that in a little bit. And in 2013, completed its 20th year of this event, which celebrates Greek food and culture. The owner of Papa's Grill, which, by the way, is awesome, which, by the way, is not there anymore, unfortunately. Back in the day, I don't know if, again, I'm really, by the way, we're going to have a lot of Toronto references in this podcast. So, if you're from, I don't know, Wisconsin, you're probably not going to get any of this. But, this was a great restaurant. Back in the day, I remember I went there once with my family, and they had like a clay oven there. It sounds stupid, but they literally had the best bread there. I don't know what they did to this bread. It was so soft. It was so perfect. Came out of the oven, beautiful. They had even pizza there. I know you're thinking Greek restaurant, pizza, whatever. Trust me, you'll love it. Just all the food there was great. Over the years, new management took over, and then, eventually, just all of a sudden I'm walking down Danforth, and of course during COVID, you see the sign, lease for rent. And it kind of kicked in, with me anyway, it's like, yeah, this is actually happening. I mean, this is how bad COVID got. I mean, if you told me even 10 years ago that one day Papa's Grill would close down, I wouldn't believe you. I'm not going to lie. It went through a couple changes with ownership and whatever, and they took the stove out. And, I remember even one day I went there when I was a kid, and my parents pointed to someone sitting at the table, and it was the guy from the lead singer from the Bare Naked Ladies, the guy with the glasses. It's unfortunate that they don't. I'm told sometimes they still perform together or whatever, but I'm just saying, it's just a cool place. Anybody can go there. It didn't matter. Very chill. And once you see that, release sign, you're like, oh shit, like this is. Now it's serious. I mean, there were times during COVID, during the winter time, like I know it's business is slow, obviously more in the winter, but you would just go there and it just felt like a ghost town. You walk down the street and people set up all these like mannequins as like a protest, whatever, and it just really kicked in. So, I mean, this was a big part of it. Like even in my Fat Greek Wedding, where she worked across the street, you could see Papa's Grill, like from the Danforth, because it was shot there, obviously. I mean, the house is very close to me. I'm not going to tell you how close. I don't know. It's like trying to figure out what Springfield it is in The Simpsons. I don't know. You gotta do some research. But so I mean, this is a huge deal, But I don't know. But anyways, a Greek cuisine on the Danforth stated, Taste of the Danforth has grown exponentially, and we are still experiencing growth 20 years to the day. This event generally occurs the second weekend of August. Past attendance numbers have been reported as high as 1.6 million people over the 3-day event. Approximately 1.6 kilometers of Danforth Avenue is closed from Broadview Avenue to past Jones Avenue for the festival. It was announced on May 15th, 2020, that the 2020 festival scheduled for August 7th to 9th, 2020 was canceled due to gathering restrictions of 25,000 people or more as mandated by the City of Toronto amid the global COVID-19 pandemic. It was also canceled in 2021 and 2022. So there we go, guys. Again, I did not know. I mean, I figured it had to be one of the bigger ones of Canada, but yeah, the biggest one in Canada. Yeah, so it's very unfortunate, guys. Again, I don't think they anticipated this problem fast enough. Obviously, I mean, because it's not going to happen. But I think they definitely could have put more of an effort into it. I mean, it's the biggest festival in Canada. Like how many people look forward to this every year, and how many events and vendors and restaurants are depending on this. I don't know. This is almost like oh, okay, worst case, we'll do it next year. Well, yeah, okay, that's like for sure you're gonna do it next year, and now you're saying you're not doing it because a lot of it is because of bike lanes. Ladies and gentlemen, I did a podcast about I hate bicycles, and this is not going to help. Listen, if you live in the city of Toronto, okay, obviously you've heard of Danforth, Greektown, you call it the Danny, you're an asshole. But you've heard that they put in these Malakias bike lanes for some reason. I don't know, because they felt driving on Danforth is not challenging enough. To make it easier for the cyclists. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say this again. It's very hard for me not to hate people that ride bicycles. It really is. I just, again, I get it. Not everybody can afford a car, and I'm right there with you. I mean, the insurance and gas prices alone, forget it. And then the irony of this is that if I tell them I am close to Danforth, the insurance goes right up. So, I'm like, we're all aware of this problem, okay? But again, so let me explain the Danforth to people that don't understand what the Danforth is to Toronto. So you basically have like one lane going this way, one lane going the opposite way, and that's it. I mean, it used to be sorta you can have two lanes both sides, but realistically, let's just be honest. I mean, it was meant for parking, and a lot of times you were very lucky to get that parking spot. I mean, extremely lucky. Okay. Perfect example. You look for parking on Taste at Danforth, forget it. You might as well just walk from home, okay, if you're close to Danforth. Like, really, there's really no point. Honestly, there isn't. I mean, people that live in the area, especially people that are along like Broadview, Pape, Chester, Donlands, forget it. Like, you might as well just rent out your driveway, make a couple bucks, spend it on some saganaki, which is the flaming cheese. We're going to get into that in a little bit because it is one of my favorites. I love it. That's what I miss about Papa's Grill. They used to light it right in front of you. Yeah. It's like the movie. Okay, we'll get into that. But that Windex was bullshit. The point is, it is impossible to find parking. Absolutely impossible. I remember one time I went with a friend. We parked along Donlands there. We might as well just have parked on Donlands and Mortimer, okay, which is basically, for those of you who don't understand my Toronto lingo, let's say at least a good 20-25 minute walk. Depends what kind of pace you go. I like to take my time as a bigger man, and that's another thing I miss about not having tasted Danforth is the beautiful food. But again, we'll get into that later. But it's just, it's insane to drive there. It really is. So on top of that, some asshole downtown had an idea. Hey, let's put bike lanes all over the place. Let's put a bike lane on one side, bike lane on the other. You fucking moron. I'm telling you, of all fucking places to put bike lanes in this city, first of all, bike lanes are a pain in the ass. They are spreading like a virus in Toronto. I fucking hate them. Tell this to any delivery driver downtown. It's not tough enough to park downtown. And, just to do your deliveries, and you got to worry about getting a ticket, because half your vehicle's on the sidewalk, and you got to worry about the fucking people going by, And that's another thing too, like people with bikes in these bike lanes. Again, I mentioned this before. You're not driving a car, okay? You're not special, okay? If I'm, and this has happened to me many times, okay? I'm walking along Danforth there. I don't feel like, waiting for the light. I go in between lights. Sue me. So I go, in between the whatever cars that are there, whatever. And then, eventually I hit the bike lane, okay? And then all of a sudden I hear, da-ding, 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 And there's times I'll see a bicyclist, like clearly they're like at least like 100 yards away. And I'm looking at them like it's a fucking Mexican standoff, I'm like, wah, 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 wah. Huh. Like, fuck you, man. Like, really, I'm just crossing here. Like, I get it, you're warning me you're coming, but shut up, like I crossed the road. No one's fucking honking at me, unless I'm wearing one of my cool kick-ass t-shirts. But, I'm just trying to cross here, man. Like, relax, The spandex and the helmet. You're not impressing anybody. Listen, so these bike lanes are just completely pointless, okay? First of all, let's talk about downtown for a second in the bike lanes. Again, like I said before, it is a huge pain in the ass. Huge, okay? Talk to Canada Post and you tell them like how much shit they got to avoid and watch out for people when they're, turning right and, out of lanes, whatever. On top of that, they got to deal with bike lanes, the parking. Too much agita. It's too much. But on a condensed street like Danforth, it's too much. It's too much. They put them in my area too, like in beautiful East York. It was so nice. And then they put these random bike lanes there. And again, one lane going this way, one lane going that way. That's it. Like, it's too condensed anyway. Okay? So, I don't know whose bright idea it was to put a bike lane or bike lanes, whatever the fuck, in Danforth. You're an idiot. Malakias. You really, John Tory, he's our mayor, I don't know, he grew his hair out for a while for COVID. I don't know what he was trying to prove there. The point is, dude, I don't know if you're a part of this, decision here, but come on, that's, but then again, years ago, it was between him and a crackhead. So I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do? But, I guess worst case, the crackhead would have used the money to, buy crack. So they wouldn't have money for bike lanes, right? So the point is, it's just the worst spot to put it in. Because again, the road is already small enough as is. You got to worry about people parking there. And, I've seen accidents, like where people, like even just trying to get a parking spot, just like bump into each other. And again, one lane going one way, one lane going the other way. You're going to fuck it up for everybody. It is what it is. So putting the bike lanes there is not going to help. Okay, so that's just a disaster right there. Now, the other concern, obviously, is the benches and what the businesses have for the benches. Obviously, again, condensed street, it's a good sized sidewalk, but not enough to put the tables there. And I get that because there's only, a few bars on Danforth. More, I'm going to say, let's say towards like Broadview, where you're going to see a lot of these bars, have just a little bit of patio space, just a little bit, just, sticking out of, their bar a little bit. Some of them they can fit one table, some of them can fit two, some of them, they put they got a little stand-up table there with a fence and, or, the bars, whatever, a couple stools, that's it. There's very limited room, There's not that many supermarkets on Danforth. You know why? Because there's nowhere to fucking park. Remember they used to have a theater on Danforth? Greenwood and Danforth there. It was an awesome theater. I saw Rush Hour there. It was great. Good-sized theaters. But at the same time, didn't last. Why? You can't park anywhere. What are you going to do? Now to Tim Hortons. Worst case scenario, Tim Hortons just takes everything over. It is what it is. Nice coffee. But I do have a complaint about their customer service, which I will get into in another podcast. But again, point is, there's only so much space you can do. So I walk Danforth all the time. You know, most of the times I usually walk towards west, along Danforth from Pape to Broadview, doing all my errands. You guys know. You guys know me by now, right? My 3 loyal fans. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay? Square Boys. It's been there since the beginning of time. Best deal you can get on Danforth when it comes to a souvlaki or a burger. They got other stuff too. It's awesome. It's beautiful. You want to sit down with your date, you don't have a lot of money, beautiful. Go to Mancini's. They're going to have beautiful food for you there. It's awesome. I get my cheese at Alex Farm Cheese. The guys there always take care of me. As soon as I enter the door, you know, I give them the brick of Parmesan cheese. They know how to grade it. They just know. They're awesome. Great food there. It's great. Usually finish up at Loblaws there, get some good deals there. They got a good discount rack, by the way. Sometimes it's a gamble. Sometimes they have stuff. Sometimes they don't. But, you know, overall, guys, what I'm trying to say is it's great just to walk along the Danforth. And they still got the benches there, but they don't get in the way of anybody. You know what I mean? So, I don't know why between the bike lanes and the benches, it's a big deal. Okay? Here's what you do. Here's 3 simple things that you do. Okay? To make this happen. It's very obvious what you have to do. Okay? 1, you don't move anything from the bike lanes. You just close it down. Plain and simple. That's it. Done. No more bikes, guys. People that bikes, you know, that have bikes and really look forward to biking on Danforth on Saturday. Wah, wah, wah. You know, it's done for 3 days. Okay? That's it. Okay? Go to Easter Collegiate, go on the track there, okay? No one's going to bother you, okay? I'm also told that there's a tunnel from World War II that goes from there to the hospital. That's another story for another time. But the point is, go there, okay? Leave us alone. Second, the benches don't have to go anywhere, okay? Why? Because people are going to serve food out the restaurants anyway. They're going to want a place to sit down, okay? It's going to attract more business. People are going to want to sit down and enjoy their meal, sit there as the people go by. That's another thing too over the years. Like if you really think about it, people really didn't have a place to sit. I mean, they got a couple chairs here and there, people set up whatever. But if anything, it's more touristy. It allows people to sit down. So there's nothing wrong with the benches there. Just leave them as is. Okay, it's good for business. They can serve their food there. It's awesome. And third, this is the most important thing. For the most part, I remember when Taste at Danforth was from Pape to Broadview. Now you think about that today, never happened. Never happened. Okay? And they expanded it to Dawnlands there. Okay. No problem there. What do we do again? We need more room. We need more people to move around, whatever. Expand it again. Go to Greenwood. Perfect. At the intersection, worst case, if you don't feel like Greek food, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't, but you know, if you want a burger and A&W, go there. You got my beautiful North Pole Bakery. I've been going there since I was a kid. You know, great pizza and great Italian food there. Again, Taste at Danforth. It's not just Greek food. It's the essence of everything there. And at that intersection, they got the beer store and they got the LCBO. Okay? There you go. We're set, guys. That's it. 3 things. 3 simple things. I give you a perfect recipe for an awesome experience at Taste at Danforth and that everybody can be happy with. What more do you want? Nothing. As a big guy, I love going to Taste of Danforth. I love experiencing the food. Like I said, I don't go there every year because, every day to me is Taste of Danforth. I can go whenever I want there. But people that are visiting here from out of town or touring, whatever, they can just go there and experience it, for themselves, for the 3 days, if not, maybe for a few hours. Get ready to walk, though. I'm not going to lie. If you think, usually, like when I start off at Pape and I go to Broadview, give me, worst case, 15, 20 minutes tops. I take my time, go to the shops there, whatever. Give yourself a good, I'm going to say, oh my God, at least, who knows, 45 to an hour. I mean, it's going to take you a while. But, obviously, you got all the people there. It might take longer, it might take shorter. It depends how long your legs are. It doesn't matter. But, like the essence of it is like, to experience a Danforth, and the history, that has been there for so long. And I remember over the years, obviously it was way more Greek. I mean, way more Greek themed restaurants there. And now you go there and, it's changed a bit. You definitely got your, different shops there that have nothing to do with Greek food whatsoever. I remember they were mad at one point years ago when they wanted a Tim Hortons and a Swiss Chalet there. And it just opened, and people were like, oh my God, it's ruining Taste of Danforth, da 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 da. Hey, what are you going to do? And then the irony of it is, Swiss Chalet kind of left. There was Tim Hortons for a while, and then Tim Hortons, that's gone too. I think it's becoming a gym now or something. And of course, after all this food we're going to eat, we could use a couple minutes on the treadmill. But yeah, I mean, that's the essence, guys. I just, going to the Danforth, having a good time, and it just looks bad that, this is just, it's like, they couldn't anticipate this problem. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the thing that's weird. And like everything else is going on. And again, I got nothing against everything. I think everything should be going on at this point. But they just did not plan this through, like, at all. And I don't know. A lot of people are taking it personally, and I can't blame them. I really can't. Like I said, I just want to put in my 2 cents here, and just say, if they have a chance, I know it's probably obviously too late, because it's like less than a month ago, or no, sorry, like a month and a half or whatever. I don't know. Obviously it's too late to do it this year. I mean, it's not a Disney movie. It's not going to happen. Which, by the way, I still got to check out the movie Rise about Giannis there, another proud Greek there. But yeah, it's not going to happen this year. But hopefully next year, or this year. I mean, do they want to do like a digital? I mean, really? I mean, that's the point of doing a festival, guys. Not just doing it online. Yeah, you gotta be there. You gotta smell the food. You gotta smell the souvlaki, and just experience it for yourself. I mean, okay, I could see a picture of the Mona Lisa online, but one day, I'd like to go down there and check it out for myself. And I mean, that's the real experience. To see it and smell it and taste it, and just feel the atmosphere. It sucks. I mean, as a fellow Greek, I'm being honest. I'm a little disappointed, if not a little offended, that this is not happening. And a lot of people, the older generation, of course, they're pissed off. That run the restaurants. I mean, they've spoken up and said, "Hey, this is not good. This is absolutely not good." And it's something that we're just gonna have to, deal with this year. And it sucks, guys. It's very disappointing. It really is. I can't stress this enough. Honestly, it feels very unfair that everything else is going on, and yet for some reason, Taste of Danforth is being singled out. I don't feel it's right. I really don't. And the best advice I can give to anybody in the meantime is, make your voice heard. Like I said, my 3 fans out there, if you can get the word out, please say that, you're not happy about this. And, it should be going on. This is a tradition. I get it. Last couple of years, because of COVID, everything got suffered, because of it. But I don't think there's any excuse why they canceled this year, and they're going to look back and say, oh, it's because of, benches and bike lanes. Like again with the bikes, like, fuck, man, like our bicycles really that more important? If you tell me I have the choice to either live with either bicycles or souvlaki, I don't even have to answer that. The point is, it's just fucking stupid. It really is, guys. Like, I don't know, like, this is really bad. It is. It looks very bad for the city of Toronto. It really does. Considering it's the biggest one, and you're not having it. Shame on the people that did not plan ahead for this, and we're in charge of canceling it. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Honestly, it's horrible. It really is. And the best advice I can give to anybody out there right now is, you know, do what I do every once in a while, or not even once in a while. Who am I kidding? At least like probably once a week, 2 weeks, if not more, whenever I need something. Have your own taste at Danforth. Go to Danforth, not even on like a weekend, like it doesn't have to be, You can just go there whenever you want, go there on a Tuesday afternoon. If it's a nice day, sunny day, decent weather, not that humid, just walk around and just experience it for yourself. You'll find that the Danforth is such a beautiful and awesome place. And I mentioned in my podcast about the Danforth a few years ago about the shooting, and it's so weird. Like I spoke to someone, and and again, I know not everybody feels about this, or the same way, or whatever, knows the information, whatever. But the person thought that the shooting happened like while on Taste of Danforth, and I'm like, no, it didn't happen, and it's not why it's being canceled now, and stop, fake news, guys, come on now, stop it, it's. It was a totally separate incident, and it was just some asshole that didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and and it still hurt that day. Like I said, even when I approached Logan there, the beautiful fountain, I kind of like my heart started racing a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, like this actually happened, and the first time I've been here since the incident happened, and I got a little sad, a little heartwarmed, a little teary-eyed, all that, and just, you're like, how could something so bad happen to, such a great place, and, just don't be afraid to hit up Danforth, and, like I said, again, if you're going to drive there, I mean, it's not like driving in, well, maybe it is like driving in Barrie. I mean, it can get a little congested, and a lot of good stores, and it's not like driving in the country, okay? Yeah, it's you got to be prepared. That's all. But again, it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is such a beautiful place. It really is. And like I said, the best advice I can give to you is go down there yourself. Like do what I do. Just walk the streets and just embrace it. Just embrace all the great stores, and look around. You see people having a good time, sitting on the patios, having some drinks. Eating some good food, and people going in and out of the different shops, not just food, just, all these little knick-knack stores, and, just having a good time. That's it. That's what the Danforth is all about. Just like having a good time, and just, enjoying it, like enjoying what, my culture has to offer, and many other cultures. It's not just Greektown anymore. It's Danforth. It's everybody's, chance to, express themselves and their businesses and make money, and just show everybody what they're all about. It's a good time. It really is. And yeah, I'm very disappointed it's not happening this year. And I had a chance to go on GreektownToronto.com here and look up the history. And there's a lot you can look up here, but I just want to read the last paragraph because I feel this is the most important. An active and effective BIA benefits not only the business's community, but the surrounding neighborhood and the city as well. It serves as an economic and social anchor for the surrounding neighborhood and helps to stabilize and add vitality to the local community. As one of Toronto's most vibrant and cosmopolitan neighborhoods, Greektown on the Danforth offers something for everyone on a year-round basis. Great food, great shopping, great entertainment, and a great place to spend some time. We invite you to visit us and experience our warmth and friendly hospitality. That's it, guys. I mean, it's that simple. It really is. And, after all the bullshit we've been through the last couple years, and, businesses dealing with like little things here and there, worrying about, oh my God, like, are we going to be able to afford rent? And, we need this. we absolutely need this. And, obviously it looks like it's too late, but who knows? Maybe we can get something going last minute, but it looks like it's not going to happen this year. And that's just very unfortunate. Like I mentioned in my Danforth podcast before, me and my dad, we went to the very first Taste of Danforth, and boy, times have changed. They didn't close off the streets. Nobody even knew it was happening for the most part. What happened was they gave out like these coupons, like one coupon is good for this, 2 is good for that, 3 is good for like whatever, right? And you just go to like restaurant to restaurant, you give them the coupons, and I remember there were like a blue piece of paper. It says good for 1, 2, 3, whatever. And we just sampled a little bit here and there, and we had a good time. Like me and my dad just, hey, let's just try it out. Let's just see where, let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. And I don't think either of us could have seen it being this big. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's just crazy how much is built over the years. Whether it being 93 or 94, I'm still not sure. But either way, 2 very good years. But yeah, it's like I said, it looks bad for the city. It really does. It looks almost as if like they're taking it out on the Greek culture too. It's and again, I'm sure it's not that, but it doesn't look good at the same time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said before, make your own Taste of the Danforth. Go out there, still enjoy it. Make sure you experience as much as you can, because there's lots to do on Danforth. Lots. And although, the main event may not happen this year, you can still have your own Taste of the Danforth.
Obviously, it's a huge impact to recapture some of that lost income during the pandemic. So obviously now, again, another blow in our face.
The Greektown BIA only released a statement on social media announcing the cancellation of this year's event, saying, quote, "It was unclear during the winter months whether public health conditions would allow for Taste of the Danforth to take place. Once it became clear we could, there just wasn't time to imagine Taste of the Danforth for 2022, given the changes to the streetscape." Just weeks ago, former city councilor and current executive director of the Greektown BIA, Mary Fragedakis, blasted the Cafe TO program and new bike lane, saying it caused logistical problems for the Taste of the Danforth.
Every other event in the city is happening. The Taste of the Danforth is not happening. I don't know why.
Taste of Little Italy went on this weekend, so did a number of other festivals. So the question remains, why exactly couldn't the Greektown BIA make it work? We asked that question along with others to the BIA, but we did not get a response, and we're told an interview wasn't possible. But Mayor John Tory's also scratching his head over the cancellation.
There was never any reason why you couldn't do a Taste of the Danforth, perhaps of a slightly different kind, with that new infrastructure in place. We didn't get that planning done in time, and when I say we, the businesses and others, to have it happen successfully.
Meantime, Chris Christodoulou says the BIA reached out to him last week, and he gave them a couple of options, including bringing tables and chairs onto the sidewalk to create more space. But he said he received no response.
They are probably going to be doing it next year, so why couldn't they do it this year if they know what they're going to do next year?